name's DJ realROZZANO, and welcome to DJ realROZZANO in Conversation. So, our first subject is the late and great Joey Modiba. Wow. I met Joey at the drawing room in OBS. We were playing a gig together. I never knew this guy. I saw the flyer and I was like, aha, I've seen his name on flyers, and now I get to meet this guy, And I must be honest, as an older DJ, this young man really impressed me in a big way with his tune selection, And it was a spiritual affair. I was chilling outside in the yard, and the music that was coming from inside just blew me away. That I went in and I did the bow to him because he blew me away with the records he had and just the vibe he was creating. And big up to that event, And ever since that day, we just connected. We would chat all the time on the phone and also meet at gigs, or if I'm coming from a gig and I know he's playing in OBS somewhere, I'll always go check it out, And Joey was a very special person. I liked how his journey played out, going from being a house music DJ to getting into vinyl, getting into jazz, getting into Afrobeat, So he was a very impressive guy. I mean, we didn't only just speak about music, we spoke a lot about politics, the situation in the country, him being from Limpopo, me being from Cape Town. So I have a few names for people like myself and Joey and Atia and Butaji and Tony. These are the sonic healers in Cape Town, South Africa. We play the quality jams that other DJs just won't play. And we go searching for those records and we educate people. So I like it when a young DJ can educate me, And Joey was that guy. Joey and a few people in Cape Town. I love it. I love it that all these young DJs in their 30s, in their 20s coming up now, dropping bombs and finding records and traveling and, so it's great. So meeting Joey was really a blessing for me to connect with a good soul and just a awesome guy, just a sweet, soft, beautiful personality. That's what Joey was, And he was just an icon, a taste maker. He was a leader, in the music industry, in the DJ world in Cape Town, in the OBS, Woodstock area, playing at various venues, whether it was Ganesh or the Armchair Theatre, or anyway, or like I say, at the drawing room where we had lots of gigs together, So I've seen Joey brighten up a venue just with his music, whether it's spiritual jazz or gospel or jazz funk, or Afrobeat. You'll even hear Joey play some kwaito or some deep house, some real beautiful techno jazz. And the people loved him. I mean, we used to do Sundays at, I forget what the place was called, but Sundays he would just start to play records and, from 4 p.m., 3 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon, but you look again, we're leaving there at 1 o'clock in the morning because the tunes it was like you came there for your medicine, and that's what it's about, The tunes, he healed our souls. He was a good healer. And DJing is not just about flipping records and mixing and scratching. It's about the tunes you play, and Joey was that guy. I always looked forward to hearing this man play because I was going to hear stuff I don't know, or he's going to remind me of records that I have that I haven't taken out. It's laying there gathering dust. And so we also swapped records. I blessed him with stuff, he blessed me with stuff. So we had a great relationship. So thanks for tuning in, and here's the interview.
Joey, Lerubishi, Joey Mode, depending on you met me. I'm from Polokwane, Limpopo. That's where I originate from, and I now live here. I DJ, I promote parties. Yeah, I'm involved in the music scene. I'm quite interested in what you grew up listening to as a young kid. You know, what were your parents listening to? What were you guys listening to? Sure, yeah, I guess it was always like a contrast, like being at home and hearing what my parents are playing, which I didn't quite understand, I didn't like. At that point, this was like a lot of reggae, a lot of South African boogie, kind of the 80s stuff, not so much jazz. And then when I'd go out in the streets, I'd hear like pop music, American music, or South African kwaito, but yeah, more mainstream stuff, which I was more interested in. And yeah, a lot of hip hop, a lot of American hip hop is what I grew up on. A lot. You know. But yeah, you know, as the story goes, when you grow up, you start connecting with childhood traumas, as people say it. And then I just started listening to more of what was at home, the jazzy, more deeper stuff, I guess.
And when did you decide to put records on a turntable, man? How did that start for you? Who inspired you? What happened there?
Yo, damn. I guess I was kind of I met this guy from Spain. He's called Jesus Gonzalez. I think this was around 2009. He came to South Africa to DJ, and I happened to be his driver on his tour. And yeah, I mean, by then I was already into music and collecting, whether records or digital, but the idea of DJing actually never struck me. But conversations with this guy every day, seeing him do what he does, I was like, damn, I like that, you know. And then I happened to travel to Asia, which is where I would say it really kicked off around 2010, where I guess I decided, let me try this. But actually I didn't start with records. I started digital CDJs for a short period. Then I moved on to records, and that's it.
And what were you playing out there in Asia?
Yeah, and that's so funny. I mean, I was playing like a lot of I would say Ibiza kind of house music, like things that Carl Cox and them would play, and kind of fuse it with deep house. I mean, it was a nice period, but I think musically it was a bit shallow what I was playing then, but it was fun. And yeah, as the years go, more research, more understanding of the music, or more curiosity, you end up like, playing other stuff, finding other artists and other sounds, you know? Yeah.
So let's talk about that other sounds, man. You're one of my favorite, what I call hope healers or dope healers. You know, there's only a few of us out there, man.
Sure.
Tell me about those titles that's in your bag, you know?
I mean, I guess like, it's really if we talk about like genres, it's really any genre of music that I call other sounds. But I think it's more to do with the intention behind the music, I think, from the creators. the music that I seem to enjoy or gravitate towards seems to come from a deeper place, so to speak, of the creators. So like I'll give it an example with like a Theo Parrish, which a lot of people know is my favorite. When you hear his music, yeah, Uncle Theo, as I was saying, when you hear his music, this guy, it's like it can't be in the background. It's like so in your face, so to speak, whether it's how he puts together the elements, how he arranges it, whether it's the type of vocals that the words that are being said, it strikes you, and then when you take that and you listen to him speak,
the person you are inside doesn't change when you're beleaguered with the non-negotiable responsibilities that life throws in front of you. Those are non-negotiable. You still have to be yourself. And you're still yourself after you do those fucking gigs. Your records are not gonna unplay themselves and not mix them, be unmixable for you anymore after that. It's just that you just have to know what you're bringing. And to solve that sometimes is buy more records, more of a range. And so the things that you may not necessarily play at the gigs that you love to play, maybe those ones you play over there. Different sets for different moments and stuff.
You listen to his opinions, then you start understanding how the music comes about. So a lot of the music that I like seems to be this kind of people that created, jazz, funk, hip hop, house, kwaito, gospel, anything really, any sound. There's no discrimination.
And when you're building your sets, man, are you programming? What's going on?
Yeah, the only sort of programming, I guess, is when I know the party that I'm playing or the session. I know the venue, so I'll have a perceived idea of what type of sound I should take. And I mean, I'm one of those, for like an hour set, I'll take 100 records because I never really know how my mood will be or how the people's mood will be. So really building a set is from when I start. From the first record that I pick from my bag, it's unplanned. I just go with it. Yeah.
Tell me, like, I think the first set I really heard you play was jazz. So let's go into that, man. Who's been really freaking you out over the years? What you been collecting?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, to put it to one person is quite, it's a daunting task to say this is kind of like my inspiration, but I have been more into the spiritual type of jazz, like your Pharoah Sanders, I'll say Sandra as well, black jazz records, the Dark Khans. I am more into this Black American jazz, spiritual jazz specifically. This is, a lot of my jazz collection is there. Without not collecting anything else. I mean, I've smooth jazz, everything, but the one that dominates my collection is spiritual jazz, I'd say.